All right, food and family are a big part of the holidays, but so is fun. And so what's more fun than gathering around the TV and watching a movie with your loved ones? Caller Renata, the Curvy Critic, she is here and she joins us with some of the best movies to see this holiday season. Carla, thank you so much for being here.
I love hanging with y'all.
Yes, we love to have you. We love to have you. So we want to just jump right in. I want to start with a movie called Fantasy Football. I watched the trailer. It looks kind of good. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, of course. You know, Marseille Martin has been a producing mogul since she was in the single digits. So she's producing this, she's starring in it, and it also stars Amari Hardwick, Rome Flynn, and Kelly Rowland. And it's about this young girl who discovers she can magically control her daddy's moves when he's playing football with a game console. It is so much fun, and watching Omari Hardwick do flips over players and carry on is just this is a role we've never seen him in. We see him in serious roles all the time. He's really goofy and like that really corny kind of dad that a lot of us know, and it's so much fun to watch. Kelly Rowland is crushing it. Rome Flynn is in it. There he is right there. He plays an opposing football player on the same team, and not for anything, but Amari Hardwick used to play football back in the day in his home state of Georgia. So this is a coming home kind of thing for him, so to speak.
I would love to see him in this role in a more goofy, because we're used to seeing him in that power role. You know, he's become synonymous with power now. And so seeing him as a dad and a little more goofy should be, you know, fun and family friendly, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, next let's talk about Devotion. I know it's in theaters today. It came out today. It stars the very handsome and talented Jonathan Majors. Tell us about that. It's a true story?
Yes, it's a true story centered around Jesse Brown, who was the first aviator in U.S. naval history. And it talks about his enduring friendship with his fellow fighter pilot, Tom Hudner, who's played by Glenn Powell. And if Glenn Powell looks familiar to you, he was in Top Gun Maverick earlier this year. That boy just can't stay out of a plane cockpit. But the film takes place during the Korean War. It's a really great tribute to Jesse Brown. This was someone that I'd never heard of in history. You know, as we find so often, we're learning about Black history in Hollywood via film, but I'm not mad at him. At least we know. It's directed by J.D. Dillard, and it is hitting theaters on the 23rd. By Sony Pictures. It's great. It's a very educational film, and I highly suggest watching it. And not for nothing, but Jonathan Majors is breaking out some French, so you know, you might want to just see it just for that.
That's what I said. That's why I had to add the very handsome Jonathan Majors. I don't know if you noticed I threw that in there, but he's very.
I heard you say Jonathan Majors was handsome.
Yes, he is very handsome, Jonathan Majors. All right, and moving on, I cannot wait to see this movie, Emancipation. It stars Will Smith. This movie is also based on a true story.
Yes, this movie is inspired by 1863 photos of whipped Peter taken during his Union Army medical examination, and it first appeared in Harper's Weekly. The image is known as the Scourge back, which shows Peter's bare back mutilated by a whipping delivered by his enslavers, ultimately contributing to the growing public opposition to slavery. Now, I know we don't want to see another slavery film, but let me just note that I do believe this particular film is the first time that a slavery story has been directed by a Black American male. We know Steve McQueen directed 12 Years a Slave, but he's British.
Yes.
Antoine Fuqua is a Black American. So the vantage point on this will be a little different. It's going to hit Apple TV on December 9th globally, and it hits theaters on December 2nd. It stars Will Smith, and this is Will Smith's first big film since that iconic, slap earlier this year at the Oscars. And it's a shame because there's a lot of heavy Oscar buzz on him for this role. But if he wins, he won't be able to attend and or accept it.
Now that's what I was going to say, Carla. There's a lot of Oscar buzz around this film. He's suspended for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But this film looks good. And even Will said it's not about slavery. It's about a message of freedom. So I can't wait to see that one. Lastly, let's really get into really quick. We've got about a minute here. I Want to Dance with Somebody. That is the Whitney Houston biopic. What is that about?
It's a musical biopic of Whitney Houston. That's basically what it is. Okay. It's directed by Cassie Lemons, who is the director of Harriet that we saw a few years ago. It's produced by Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law, Clive Davis, and it's written, produced, and directed by Anthony McCartan, who also wrote Bohemian Rhapsody, which got an Oscar for Rami Malek. So we don't know if Naomi Ackie, who's playing Whitney Houston, gonna get an Oscar or not, but we'll keep our fingers crossed for her.
We will keep our fingers crossed for her. I want to see this movie, but I'm asking myself, do we need another Whitney Houston movie?
That would be the question.
Right. That's the question. All right, Carla, thank you so much for coming and giving us our holiday movie roundup. You are always so much fun. We'll have to have you back. Thanks again.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Absolutely.